Anything is possible, it started with a dream. Our passion made a difference and built a family. We've grown strong together, you know it's all because everybody plays a part in doing what we love.
Hello everyone, it's Donna Gray here, your Stamping Up demonstrator from the Northern Rivers area in New South Wales, Australia. I'm bringing you another one of my awesome technique videos, and this one is called Retiform. Now, Retiform is a form of masking and creating sections, or you could call it grid stamping, block stamping, but it's super fun, and I've had an awesome time designing some of these cards. So I've used a couple of different sets. I'm going to probably just do two of the Retiforms today and show you two different versions of the Retiform technique. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to do one similar to this card here, but I'm going to change up the colors. And then the second one I'm going to do is using this technique here. All right, so let's get started. So I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock here. Now, on this Whisper White cardstock, I'm going to bring in my stamps from the Positive Thoughts stamp set. So this is the stamp set that I'll be using right here. I'm going to grab all of the stamps that I need and bring them in. Okay, so on the card, the one that I did originally, I did it in landscape mode, so this way. So I'm actually going to do one up this way this time, just in portrait mode, just to show you the difference and how you can change it up a little bit. All right, so the sentiment, I'm still going to use the same sentiment on the front. Actually, no, I'm going to use Hugs, Prayers and Love. I might use that one, which is here. All right, so first of all, I'm going to turn my card stock up in the portrait style, and I'm going to stamp my Hugs, Prayers and Love down in this bottom corner. Now, I may end up putting this onto a popped up sentiment layer, but I haven't made my mind up just yet, but we'll see how we go. All right, so then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some of our smoky slate ink, and that's going to be the ink that I'm going to do all of my grids that I'm going to make. So first of all, I'm going to take this piece of cardstock and I'm just going to mask this off in a direction, I think probably like that. So I'm going to cover up my sentiment there. So I'm just going to turn that over and just get a direct line straight there that you can see that I'm going to cover that. So then I'm going to take a makeup sponge, oval makeup sponge, and I'm going to use my smoky slate, and I'm just going to sponge across that line there with my makeup sponge. So that's going to then, can you see, create that gorgeous line there. So I think probably what I want to do is I don't want it to be exactly just like that. So I'm going to create another line this way. Now this is how we're going to create our sections as well. So that's where we're going to start stamping, is in these sections. Okay, and I think I could even create one going up that way. So I'm just going to move that, do that, and that's going to create a couple of more sections as well. Okay, and you lightly just sponge to get those sections happening. Okay, so then I'm going to create another section, probably going across this way. Like so. So we've got a couple of different sections here, and probably just another one up that way, like that. The more sections that you do, the more stamping you're going to be doing. The less sections that you do, you've just got larger areas to stamp. So that looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. All right, so now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to need some sticky notes. I find that sticky notes work best for this technique and make it a lot easier to do. So I'm just going to grab my sticky note pad here. All right, So now what we're going to do is we're going to section off these areas and we're going to start stamping in these areas. So I'm going to put a sticky note along that line there, and you always need to do it a little bit, like about 1 millimeter back from the line. Can you see there that I've got that millimeter? Because what actually happens is your sticky notes will create a little bit of a barrier and stop you from stamping right to the edge of your sticky note. All right, so then I'm just going to take a combination of colors here. I've got Rococo Rose, I've got Blackberry Bliss, and I've got Rich Raspberry. So I'm just going to use those as my 3 colors that I'm going to be coloring around. And I tend to try and put a light color against a dark color. So I'm just going to use the feather out of that, and I'm just going to stamp in my Rococo Rose. So you can see there I've sectioned it off so that it doesn't get on the other square. All right, so now the next section that we need to do is we're going to stamp in this section just here. So I'm going to mask that off with my sticky note and mask this side off here. So because I've used the Rococo Rose, I want to use a darker color in this grid, and I'm going to use a different stamp. So I think I might do the flower in this one, and I might do it in Rich Raspberry. So I've inked up the flower, and I'm just going to stamp around a combination of that flower in that section. So it's quite an easy technique. It's a fun technique. You're going to have an awesome time. And you're going to look at all of your stamp sets and you're going to get them out and you're going to think, what can I do this technique with? So you'll see in the samples that I've done, I've used a couple of different sets. I've used our Positive Thought steps, I've used our Rooted in Nature stamp set, and I've also used our Sailing Home stamp set. So I've had a combination of some different stamp sets there, but it's been super, super fun to play around and do this Retiform stamping technique, which is awesome fun. All right, so we've got that there. All right, so I think I'm going to take probably the Blackberry Bliss in this one, and I'm going to ink up that gorgeous Maiden Hair Fern, and I'm just going to stamp that in there. So you can see now that this is starting to come together. But as I said, the best thing to do is to put some lighter colors next to your darker colors. So I'm going to mask this one off here now. And this one's quite a big one, so I'll probably have to use a couple of sticky notes for this one. So I'm going to mask that side there. I'm also then going to mask this side, and I just keep using the same sticky notes until I get to a stage that they get a little bit grotty and I think I need to change them up, but most of the time I use the same sticky notes. All right, so that one there. Okay, so in this one, I think I'm going to use the butterfly, and I'm going to stamp a few butterflies, and I'm going to do them in Rococo Rose. So I'm randomly going to stamp a group of butterflies around in this one here, in my Rococo Rose. Okay. And we will do this little section down here. And seeing I've got Rococo Rose and I've got Blackberry Bliss here, I think I will use my Rich Raspberry. Actually, I could use my Smoky Slate. I might do that. I'll use my Smoky Slate. I'll clean off that feather and I'll pop a bit of Smoky Slate in there. Okay. So we have some beautiful feathers happening. All right, so now I've got 2 more bits up through here. So I'm going to mask that off. And this one through here. And I think I'm going to use that gorgeous big Maiden Hair Fern, and I'm going to do that in our Blackberry Bliss. Okay, and I'm just going to stamp that down like that. And then I think I'm going to do another one, maybe coming in the other way, up through there. And maybe another one just in through here. Okay, so that's filled that part up there. And then we've just got this top corner left to go. So I'm going to mask that one off. Like that. And I think I'm going to bring in some of that smoky slate again. So I think I'm going to clean off my flour. And we'll do that one in smoky slate. So we're just going to stamp some of those flowers around. And there you have a gorgeous card front. So now I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to stamp that on a scrap piece of paper because I really wanted to pop up that sentiment layer. So I'm just going to grab a piece of white, Whisper White. I'm going to grab my Hugs, Prayers and Love again and stamp that in my Blackberry Bliss and stamp that down. I'm then going to use my beautiful punch and punch that one out. So Hugs, Prayers and Love. All right, and I'll grab a piece of Blackberry Bliss and I will punch that out of that. I will then use that as my backing layer, which will be super, super nice. All right, I'm going to take that grotty piece of paper away. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put this card together. So as you can see, this is a quick technique, but very effective technique. So I'm just going to pop a bit of glue on there. So just like so. And then with our sentiment, I will pop that up onto dimensionals. Okay, and then I'll pop that onto that layer just like that. And then I can pop that down in that corner there, and it adds a little bit more dimension to my card. Okay, and there we have that. And I'm just going to pop that onto a rich raspberry card base, and that way we have incorporated all the colors that we have used in there into our layers as well. And I'll just glue that on with my liquid glue. Okay, and there you have another quick, gorgeous card. Now, I want to show you the next one. Please give me the thumbs up if you enjoyed that card. The next one is super, super fun as well. So I'm going to bring in that scrap piece of paper that I had. I'm going to grab my next layer. I'll get rid of these ink pads because I don't need them anymore. And I'm going to change up the color scheme a little bit. I'm going to use some Merry Merlot, some Crumb Cake, some Mossy Meadow, and Pumpkin Pie and Cajun Craze. Whoops, and I just stuck my finger in that ink pad. Okay, so in this one, what we're actually going to do is we're going to create the Retiform, but we're actually going to create it in a little bit different way. So what I'm actually going to do is with this scrap piece of paper, I'm actually going to tear that, okay, and get a really nice torn shape. And I'm going to use the other side as well. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put these across at an angle like this on my card. And I'm going to want to keep them there the whole time that we do this card, because you'll see what will happen in the end. So I'm going to grab that oval makeup brush again. I'm going to go through with crumb cake this time, and I'm going to hold these in one place. Okay, and we're going to sponge like that. And then with this one here, we're going to hold it in place and sponge as well. Okay. And then with both of them, we're then going to just add whatever we've got left on our sponge just into that middle section. All right. Now, you'll be able to replace these at any time. So can you see how I've got that going through my card? So you'll be able to line them up and replace them at any time. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some of those gorgeous sticky notes. Okay, so we're going to leave those there. And then I'm going to create a section here with my sticky note and holding these two templates in place. I'm going to go back through with my crumb cake again, and I'm going to create a section line there with that sticky note and some of that crumb cake ink. Okay, then I'm going to grab my stamps. I'm going to change them over. I'm going to grab the stamps out of the Rooted in Nature stamp set, and we're going to use those on our card this time. All right, so I've got this gorgeous leaf, and I'm going to use Mossy Meadow with my leaf. So it's got a large leaf, so I'm going to ink up that large leaf in my Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to randomly stamp in that section. Okay, so we've got that happening. So we're then going to carefully take off our sticky note, keeping the other two still in place. We're going to create another section. Okay, keeping those in place, create another section just like that. Bring in our makeup brush again, create that line through there. And this time we're going to need a sticky note up in that top section to mask that one off. Then we're going to grab another one of these stamps, and I'm going to use the Cajun Craze for this one. And I'm going to, the gorgeous leaf in the Rooted in Nature, I'm going to stamp some of those around in Cajun Craze. Okay, so just like that. All right, so now we're going to move these again. We're going to create another Retiform area like that. We're going to grab the makeup brush again. We're going to create that line to make that segment happen. All right, and then I'm going to grab the smaller leaf here, and I'm going to grab the Merry Merlot. I think I might do this one in. So we've got the smaller leaf, and we're going to do Merry Merlot in that section. Okay, so just like that. All right, now we're going to create another Retiform section. So we're going to go probably down here like this and pop that one there. So I'm getting it down to a fine knack here, not moving any of these the two outside pieces. We're then going to grab our crumb cake again. We're going to create that section again. Okay, then we're going to grab the tree, and in our Merry Merlot, did I just do that in Merry Merlot? I think I just did. Yes, I did. Okay, so we're going to grab our tree. I think we might do our tree in Mossy Meadow actually. All right, so we're going to come in with our tree, and we're going to do a Mossy Meadow tree in there. Okay, so just like that. And then we're going to create another section through here, using this again to section that off. Okay, using our crumb cake once again to create that section. And then I'm going to use this tiny little tree, and I think we're going to do the little tree in pumpkin pie. I'm going to have a pumpkin pie tree there and maybe up through there. All right, so we've got that. We've got another section down through here, and I've just moved that. Okay. No, that's it. All right, another section down through here. I think I could probably do another 2 sections out of this. So we've got that there, that there. Okay, in Merry Merlot, I'm going to do this gorgeous leaf in Merry Merlot. Through there, and through there. And then finally, oops, and I didn't do, can you see what I didn't do there? I didn't do my oval makeup brush, but we can go back through and we can get that to happen. So I'm just going to pop that back down, do my crumb cake. So you've got to remember to do those sections each time. All right, so there we go. We've got the line there. And then we've got this one section left down here at the bottom. Okay, and still going to have that in there like that. Still going to have that one in there as well. There. Okay, and I think just with this gorgeous leaf, maybe in the green, we might do the mossy meadow with that leaf. Okay, so just like that. Are you ready for it? Look at this. Is that a super, super awesome looking card front? How crazy is that? All right, and then I think what I want to do is with our torn section, so we had this section here. I'm going to just, with that crumb cake, I'm just going to lightly crumb cake that area like that, just to take that stark white look off. Same with up in here, just to take the stark white look off it. And then I'm just going to layer those up. So I've got Cajun Craze here. I'm going to layer it up on some Cajun Craze like that. I'm going to, before I do that, I'm actually going to take one of these sentiments and I'm going to ink it up. It says, "You are wonderful." I'm going to use my Stamparatus so I don't mess this up. Okay. And the reason I'm using the Stamparatus is so that I make sure that if I don't stamp this very nice in our, that way, in our black, I can re-stamp it. Okay. So I'm going to do that just there, and I think that looks pretty straight. If it's not straight, it will do. It's what we're going to go with. We're just going to go with the flow. All right, so we're going to ink that up in our black memento and stamp down. Okay, I'm going to ink it up again. It's a little bit crooked, but it's okay. We're going to go with it. Like that. And I think I'm going to ink it one more time just to make it really stand out. Like that. You are wonderful. All right. So then I'm just going to layer those up onto some layers. So I've got the Cajun Craze or Cajun Craze as my layer. So I'm just going to, with some Tombow, layer that onto that layer. Okay, so just like that. Okay, and I'm just going to take some of our Merry Merlot as my card base, and I'm just going to fold that in half. Okay, and use my bone folder to crease it. And then I'm going to pop that one up onto dimensionals. and grab my take your pick tool and whoops, take off those backings. Okay, turn that over and pop that onto our Merry Merlot base. Okay, and there you have another wonderful, quick Retiform technique with a little bit of a twist. So you can tear your layers and tear your guide there and make a really, really different type of card using this technique. And it's super, super easy, super, super quick. You can see I've made 2 quick cards there using that technique. Looking very different, using different stamp sets. I'll bring in all of those cards that I've made now. So we've got this one here using the positive thoughts. We've got this one here using the rooted in nature. We've got this one here using our positive thoughts as well. And this one here is using our rooted in nature. And this one here is using our sailing home. So you can see that you can make some super, super awesome fun cards using this technique. If this is the first time you've watched me on YouTube, please feel free to hit the subscribe button down in that bottom right-hand corner and turn on the bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a video. I'm bringing you Technique Tuesday videos every Tuesday from now until the beginning of June, until our brand new catalogue goes live. So once again, my name is Donna Gray. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Northern Rivers area in New South Wales, Australia. Everything I have used today doing these Retiform techniques can be purchased through my online store, and I would really appreciate if you're wanting to buy some craft supplies. You'll find my shop link, which is www.DonnaGray.stampinup.net. And if you wanted to place your order by phone, you'll find my phone number down in the show more box down below too, which is 0421725015. If you're not confident with placing an order over the internet using your computer, I will be more than happy to place the order for you. Once again, we have an awesome sale happening at the moment, which is our last chance products. And if you are wanting to get in and get some of our last chance products, now is the time to buy. If your order is going to come to $169 or more, please think about joining my Wild Heart Crafters team. You can choose $235 worth of product and only pay $169. If you wanted to ask some more questions, please feel free to give me a call on that phone number that you'll find in the show more box down below. So thank you very much for taking some time out of your day to watch my crafting today. I hope I've inspired you to get out and try this technique. And please feel free, if you wanted to email me some pictures of your technique, I would love to see them. So thank you everyone, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye for now.
Focused on the sharing and the chance we have to give. You can do most anything, so just do what you love. Live it, share it, you know it's what you're dreaming of. What we love, what we do, makes a difference in me and you. All these years of inspiration and love. Oh, how we live and what we say, it's Stampin' Up! And it's our way to love, live and share it today. To love, live and share it today. Just look around and you can see it's so much more than stamps and ink. It's more than just a card you see. It's part of you, a part of me. It's creativity.